Hey guys, so I've been rocking the LG G4 for a while now, and as the US release date is not too far off, I think I'm ready to finally share my thoughts with you on a smartphone that has almost completely won me over. And it started basically right after I took it out of the box. I got the plastic version and I really thought it wasn't going to have an impressive build or feel. Most of the other manufacturers are going glass and aluminum, and I didn't think they could pull this off. There is the leather version though to give that high-end edge, so I'll be picking one up later on and I'll let you know on Twitter what I think of it. But still, this plastic back does have a nice feel to it. And really the only problem is that it's slippery. Really slippery. I haven't dropped it to the ground yet, but it slipped plenty of times in my hand onto my lap. I put a carbon fiber slick wrap on it, which I was going to do anyway because I refuse to put a case on this. I'll link them down below if you guys want to pick one up for your G4. But it's not just the polished feel of the plastic, it's the subtle curved screen which I'm really digging. It's a more reserved and mature take on the G Flex 2's crazy curve. And just like last year's G3, it has no buttons on the side, just that IR blaster on top and the headphone jack and microphone port and micro USB on the bottom. The buttons are on the back again with a smooth finish on the power button and a textured pattern for the volume rocker. Point being, I've never mixed them up, so even though you can't see them, give it some time. You'll get used to the button layout if you're coming from a totally different smartphone. But check this out, if you look close, there's almost no camera bump. And I get that this isn't a big deal to everyone, but it bothers me when you have a super thin device and then a camera that juts out suddenly. So there's a small rise here, but it's hardly noticeable and it tapers nicely. The highest praise that I can give the G4 though is that if I was never told that it had a removable battery or saw the cutout in the lower right side, I would never have known it, because honestly when holding it, it feels like a sealed phone. No creaking, bending, twisting, you name it. It's rock solid. But then you actually can take off the back cover and find that removable 3000 mAh battery which blocks the SIM card and expandable micro SD card slot. And you'll be hearing this a lot, but that micro SD card slot can accept cards up to 2 terabytes, which incidentally you can't get yet, and you really won't want to when you can because they will be incredibly expensive. They'll probably cost more than this phone. But it's definitely cool and shows that LG is making a point that they believe expandable storage is a feature we want and they aren't holding us back at all. Basically, LG just let all the other companies try new things and abandon features a lot of fans liked and figured their market strategy was to just say that they're one of the last to keep what's important, and I think it was a good call. It's not to say that I don't like what the other guys are doing, I do. It's just now we have every choice option for any type of smartphone we want. It's a great time to be in the market for one. But LG hasn't stopped innovating though. The whole QHD high-res smartphone screen movement they've helped to ignite is still going strong. The G3's display was definitely crispy, but wasn't rich with color. So LG's got a quantum display now, which basically means a beautiful color output with higher contrast images without coming off too saturated. And all that without hurting that replaceable battery. Between this and the Galaxy S6, they're the two best displays in the market, neither of which I think is definitely better than the other. LG produces truer colors, the S6 super saturated. Now, software with LG is annoying here. Optimus UI is actually not too far off from stock Android. I feel it's one of the lightest skins, but it's nothing to get excited about. Like smart settings, I find them almost always to get in the way rather than providing helpful information. They aren't implemented too well, and things like the Smart Notice widget and LG's cards are all copies of Google's implemented cards and Google Now, and since I'm always logging into a Google account, it makes sense for me to keep in that ecosystem. LG smart settings aren't bad, I just don't feel that they're done well enough. So as I often do, I popped in the Google Now launcher from the Play Store and found the G4 to be a dream. The apparently somewhat controversial Snapdragon 808 with a solid 3 gigs of RAM blazes through absolutely everything I throw at it, and I guess it's not technically the best processor out there with only 6 cores, but I never once found myself wishing it had the 810. Now, I may eat those words down the line if a later build of Android performs way better on the 810, but I doubt it. But the smartphone isn't meant to impress with its processor. The big talking point is that not very protruding camera. It has an aperture of f1.8, which makes for quite an impact on its low light performance. This is one of the few camera phones where I can expect to go into a dimly lit place and expect to come out with a decent usable pic. That's a high compliment because I've never been able to say that about a smartphone, period. Now don't get me wrong, get too dark and the usual graininess and lack of image detail will be there. But go the opposite extreme outdoors or in any good light and the images are knockouts. And at this point, I can't see any real need for a pocket point and shoot camera if you've got this shooter. Let me know in the comments if any of you actually still carry one though. But with 16 megapixels, it just has incredible detail, enough to shoot 4K video, and combine that with the ability to shoot raw images, If it isn't a DSLR replacement, it sure is an awesome companion and could easily be your sole vacation or travel camera. It really is just that reliable. Even the front facer is solid. It's got 8 megapixels, but I've noticed just like a lot of other phones, it tends to push too much noise cancellation and crush image detail. The images don't look bad, they're just very soft when you look at them full size, and video caps out at 1080p, but still looks great for Skyping and can definitely get away with some vlogging, but try to stay in good light. The one weird problem though is the OIS, optical image stabilization, which is a great addition to the camera, don't get me wrong, but in video mode, it's harsh and aggressive. It turns the footage wobbly and distorts it. I'm sure this will get fixed though, as the motion of the image stabilization is controlled through software, so I'll keep you guys posted if and when an update does actually come out. So big, bright, beautiful display, lightning performance, and a mind-blowing camera. Probably gonna drain the battery quick, right? Well, not really. Not only is it removable, but this battery lasts and lasts. If you're a pretty light user and keep settings like Bluetooth and location off for the most part, with sub 50% screen brightness, you can make it 2 days. Regular use, a day and a half, and only when I really pushed it, watching a ton of YouTube, checking email often, downloading apps, and a hefty dose of web browsing, I was able to drain the battery before the end of the day. Honestly, I'm kind of amazed how LG has managed to keep so many familiar features being dropped by others, but still offer something fresh, entirely new, and extremely compelling. If I didn't get one already, I'd want a G4 pretty bad, but then there are the other options from Samsung and HTC, and even some pretty awesome budget options out there. Now, I've got a video in the works, gonna probably film it when I'm overseas in Italy, and I'm gonna sum up my thoughts on these smartphones, give my top 5 for the mid-year, but I can almost guarantee this G4 will be there. Well guys, there you have it, the LG G4, showing that LG is not just committed to the Android fanbase and its desire for customizability in its software, but also the hardware side of things with a removable battery, expandable storage, and interchangeable backplates, and I think those are features that are still going to stick around for many years to come. Well guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful at all, please do give a thumbs up, and also be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more content just like this. And also drop a line down below and let me know of the 3 Android smartphones that I've reviewed so far, the HTC One M9, the Galaxy S6, and the LG G4, which one do you prefer? I'd love to know. Thanks again guys, and I will talk to you soon in the next one.